Hello world, welcome back to Agileonthetrail, and this is week 17 in review. Well, we started off at mile marker 1331.1 with the goal of doing 16 miles a day on average. We finished 1416.9 for a total of 85.8 miles. That's only an average of 12.24. We fell way short of our goal, and thus we're falling a little behind our schedule once again. Factors that contributed to the lower performance. We're in a heat wave, and it sucked. We were constantly hiking in the 90s. High humidity took a toll on us. Then the bugs decided to come out in droves and further demoralized us. But the real victim here of the low performance is the fact that we took a zero and we had some shorter days due to some injuries, specifically blisters on the feet. It happens. So once again, in review, we fell way short of our target, 16 miles a day. We only did 12.24. Only 85.8 miles done in the week. Still made progress. The silver lining in this is that if you take 2,200 miles and divide it by 180, you get 12.22. That's how many miles you got to do a day. And we did 12.24. So, in essence, we did the bare minimum if we just smoothed everything out. It's not our worst week. Definitely not our best, and it wasn't on our target. Hoping to do better the following week. All right, everybody, that is the week 17 in review. Hope you guys are having a great week. I'll see you next week. Hello, world. Welcome back. This is week 17 in retrospect. All right, going to fly through it real quick because, well, the sun's not favorable and my screen's still a little bit busted. So you guys are going to get some flares. See, like that. All right, so we started off the week hiking to this secret shelter, and I tried for the first time not to sleep on my Nemo pad and just sleep on this pad back here. Not a good night of sleep. I was doing that as an experiment because if I could get a good night of sleep just on that pad, I was seriously considering sending the Nemo tensor home. There's nothing wrong with it. Sending it home to save 2 pounds of weight in my pack. I mean, my current pack weight without food and water is like 15 pounds at most. So, I mean, that's really good already. Really good. But no, I didn't get any good sleep. We also, hiking to the secret shelter, got out of what we feel like is the official Roxavania portion of the trail that was in New Jersey. So that was Sunday. As of this recording, that was a week ago today. Then from there, we hiked to Heaven Hills Farm, and it was a very cruisy day. Hot, humid, bugs were all over the place. But we got to Heaven Hills Farm and decided to shuttle from there to the motel in Greenwood Lake that we had booked for the next night. We did call ahead. They had the room available for that night as well, so we went ahead and did that. all was good. The next day, I ended up slack packing alone back to Heaven Hills Farm from Greenwood Lake. And the reason why we tapped out a little early and didn't camp is Dante's feet were blistering and he needed to give them a rest. So I hiked that section and got rained on, but no big deal. Got it done. Went back to Heaven Hills Farm. Got the same shuttle driver to drive me back to Greenwood Lake. That night we decided, after much deliberation, we were throwing plans back and forth around to zero the next day. And with the sole purpose of making sure Dante got new hiking shoes and socks and stuff, which he did. And I zeroed because I was tired, and I wanted to show solidarity with, just hit myself, with Dante, because he's a good hiker. He's a strong hiker when he's healthy, and he's a lot of fun to be around with, and he really wants to hike faster, which is in alignment with, what I want to do as well. So I was giving him the benefit of the doubt and, every chance possible. These gnats are nasty. So we zeroed. That was Wednesday. The next day we hiked out and it was brutally hot and humid. Took a toll on us. There were some really decent rock climbs and scrambles, which were, it's called hiking, not rock climbing. And that was both of ours feedback. We were just not happy with the amount of rock climbing we had to do that day. But we got close to his friend's place and his friend picked us up just before it rained. Yay. Next day we decided to hike slack pack to Bear Mountain. And the initial intent was to get on top of Bear Mountain. What we didn't know was Bear Mountain to the public is closed. And it was another hot and humid day, and even with slack packing, it just beat the crap out of us. That and the fact my Far Out app showed updated, but it wasn't. What we thought was going to be a 17-mile day ended up being like a 20 or 21-mile day if we would have done it. However, we did get dropped in early, like 6 a.m. And we were done hiking by like 2. But we didn't get pulled out of the park until 4:30. Kind of missed those hours of being able to truly rest and recuperate. Dante then zeroed with his friend and I continued on up and over Bear Mountain. And that's the end of the week, really. I did get dropped in a little late. I didn't do too many miles that day. But yeah, so the week in all, a combination of just a lot of rock scrambles, which was a little unexpected. Hiker feet problem, mostly with Dante. Heat and humidity, fatigue, got the best of us. And we didn't do 16 miles a day like we planned. We fell way short of that. Only did 12 something a day. So, oh well. Retrospective wise, what we've learned and what I'm actually employing today as I'm recording this is get up and hike earlier. Start the hike around 6 or 7. Take a good hour and a half break during the heat of the day. And then hike later into the day when it's cooler and we're refreshed from the extended break to do more miles. And that is the lesson we are taking from last week's week 17 and applying it going forward so that we may be successful in reaching Katahdin, hopefully on time. All right, that's the retrospect. Hope you guys enjoyed me rambling on about it. it's good to review what we learned while we did it, while it's fresh in our minds, so we can apply those learnings going forward to whatever we're doing going forward. And in my case, hiking. All right. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll check you guys out later. Hello, world. Welcome to week 18 planning. Well, last week was dismal in regards to execution. And I really want to start working towards making up some lost ground. So with that said, I'd like to at least make up one day this week. So if we're doing 15.2 miles a day for 7 days, we need to add on another one. So 8 15.2s squeezed into 1 week. That comes up to being 121.6 miles. And that is the goal, 121.6. If you divide that into 7, that means I want to average 17 plus miles a day. I think 17.3, 17.4, somewhere in there. And that's the plan, straight up and simple. I want to get the nose to the grindstone, bust out miles. The heat wave broke here, and I want to take advantage of the cooler temperatures, still the long summer days, and the easier terrain, and clock in 121.6 miles this week. And that would officially make up at least one day that I zeroed or missed miles on. All right, that is the plan for week 8, 121.6 miles, or 17.3-ish miles a day. It's a lofty plan. That is actually going to be like my best performing week if I can pull it off. To date, I'm shooting high, I'm aiming high. Let's see if I hit high. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good week.